Mic check, it's time for in the trenches. Bucs battles, tales from the benches. No fluff, straight edge defenses. Buccaneer talk, breaking down the fences.
Hello everybody and welcome back to In the Trenches. My name is Beckles and we are going to celebrate a Victory Monday, which is a long time coming. First and foremost, let's thank our title sponsors, Manny and Gordon. You're going to hear here real quick, Dignitary Cafe and Manny and Gordon are going to be teaming up and going after creative loafing for what we deserve. So creative loafing, you know already, and a lot of people have heard the story about creative loafing and how they shorted us $30,000 knowingly. We're just about being fair, and that's what Manny and Gordon's all about as well. So you're going to hear a little bit more about that, but if you have any issues with anything logistically, go to Manny and Gordon. They're the best at what they do. Our Buccaneer team got it done yesterday against those lowly New York Giants. Yeah, 30-7. Statistically, the Bucs almost doubled everything that they had. That New York Giants team, they just cut their quarterback, who's making, Daniel Jones, who's making $40 million a year. It's not something you can do, okay? You can't cut your quarterback who's making $40 million a year. You can't do it. They did it. In the middle of the season, all the other players are looking around, and you have Drew Lock as your backup. Drew Lock has some okay film, all right? Tommy Cutlets has 6 good passes. Drew Lock has some good film. And you're going to jump over Drew Lock to go to Tommy Cutlets. In a locker room, it's going to be real hard for Dabo to look his players in the face and say to them that we are doing what we can to win. And the Giants played thusly yesterday. The Giants didn't play well anywhere yesterday. The quarterbacking was terrible. Offensive line was terrible. Their D-line didn't do a darn thing. Neighbors is supposed to be the guy. You barely saw him in the game. He made a couple catches. The Giants are not a good football team. That being said, I'm not going to sit here and go over playoff scenarios. There's nothing I hate more than that with this many games left. I hate it because your team has to win a lot of games before you win and make the playoffs. But I'm going to say this. The Buccaneers are a good football team. I don't know if they're a great football team, but they're a good football team. They're a good enough football team to beat the Lions. They're a good enough football team to beat the Eagles. They're a good enough football team to fight Kansas City, which everybody's doing. They're a good enough team to take, the Niners to the last quarter. They're a good football team. Whether they're good enough to run the table or maybe go with one loss to the end of the season, we're going to find out. Personally, it's hard to win every week. It's not likely you beat the Carolina Panthers twice. That's just the way football goes. But if like I said, the Buccaneers are a good football team. If they play their game, it's up to them. But there's injuries that are popping up. Jordan Whitehead, torn pec. He's going to be done for the season. Tristan Wirfs wasn't out there yet. We need Tristan Wirfs back, although School didn't play too poorly. But as a whole, that's the most rounded game the Buccaneers have played this year on all sides of the ball. So it's good to see this late in the season. First drive, 14 plays, Tucker touchdown, 1 yard. You can't start a game better than that. So there's so many things that were fun to watch in that game. It was fun to watch the Bucs run the football, first and foremost. Been asking for that for a long time. I still think they should run the ball more. I know everybody likes to give all the credit to all the running backs. I give the credit to the offensive line. Look at the Bucky Irvin touchdown. He walked in. I could have scored that one, and I got a tore-up calf. I could have bounced into that one and limped in there. There was nobody on half of the field. Tony Mayberry is here watching me, the old Buccaneers center. There was nobody from the A, B, C, and D gap. I don't know where all the Giants were. But that's the kind of game it was for the Giants. Lawrence is one of the best defensive linemen in the league. Did you hear his name yesterday? I didn't hear Lawrence's name once yesterday. Not once. And, overall, the Giants just laid it down. And it's sad, because I've been on a lot of bad football teams, but I'd like to believe we fought all the way to the end. But I think that organization over there, in New York, they're in a bad place, and I just don't know if they're heading in the right direction, unfortunately. So, defensively, I thought we played a great game. you know, you got to take it with a grain of salt because the Giants aren't good. Tommy Cutlets is not good. All right? The Giants don't have a lot. They have a nice young running back. Their offensive line is not great. But we did some really, really nice things. It scared me a little bit to see Baker get hit by Thibodeau early in the game and he was holding his back. And, that was a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous hit. That's a good way to get knocked out of a season. But right now, watching Baker Mayfield play, if you're a Buccaneer fan, I'm pretty sure you're a Baker Mayfield fan. I'm pretty sure. Listen, I was one of those people saying that I don't want Baker Mayfield here. Why? Now that we've watched a substantial amount of Baker Mayfield, if you're a Buccaneer fan and you don't like Baker Mayfield, I could say you don't like the Buccaneers. Because Baker Mayfield might be our best player. He might be. He's there every week. He competes every week. I don't remember last time he really had a down game. And the leadership skills you can see from the other side of the television. So I don't know why anybody would not like Baker Mayfield as their quarterback at this moment. Going back to the defense, it's nice to see Vita Vea and Kalijah Kancey on the field at the same time. How many times have we seen that? I don't know if we've ever, yesterday might have been the first time we saw those two guys on the field healthy. Seriously. And they were wreaking havoc. Vita Vea, when he wants to, is unblockable. Once again, talking to Tony Mayberry yesterday about Vita Vea and if I was playing against him, what my game plan would be. I'm not sure what my game plan would be. I'm not sure. Because, he's got the size of a Gilbert Brown, but he's got enough wiggle and shake. And he's learning how to use his leverage, and he's learning the hump move and the long arm. Vita Vea is a son of a bitch. And if he's healthy and when he's healthy, he is tough as hell to deal with. And Kalijah Kancey, when he's healthy as well, has an amazing get-off. Sometimes he picks and chooses and he gets himself out of position, but not that often. But Kalijah Kancey makes a lot of plays out there. We have to figure out a way to get some better play from our ends, okay? We're getting pretty darn good play inside right now. JTS, who went out with an ankle, him out with an ankle makes our defense better. I don't care what anybody says. I think we're better with Yaya Diaby. Nelson was in there playing. He did a couple good things. But we need some more from Yaya Diaby, who I believe got some money this year. And, sometimes you get fat when you get money. We definitely need more from him. But as a whole, I liked what I saw yesterday. Mike Evans, we're a different football team with Mike Evans on the field offensively. You notice when Mike Evans wasn't there, Chris Godwin's not coming back this year. When Mike Evans wasn't there, we were dink and dunk. Period. Mike Evans shows up, all of a sudden we're getting the ball down the field. It's not by coincidence. Mike Evans, if Baker Mayfield ain't our best player, it could be Mike Evans. So having Mike Evans healthy for the rest of the season is going to be important as well. And keeping Baker upright is going to be very important. Get Tristan Wirfs back. Jordan Whitehead's out for the season. I don't know how well he was playing to begin with, but you just don't want to lose a player like that. You don't want to start dwindling down depth-wise. So the Buccaneers figure out a way to win. Well, once again, I'm not going to sit here and start talking about playoff scenarios when we win one game against the New York Giants, who haven't beaten anybody this year. I'm not going to do that yet. Let's put 2 or 3 games together. That being said, looking around the league, the Atlanta Falcons aren't very good. And the Buccaneers are sneaking up on them. And the Buccaneers mess around and win this week, and the Falcons, they're feeling and they're hearing the footsteps. So 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't have put a nickel on the Bucs. We're not dead. We're not dead yet. The Bucs aren't dead. Don't know if I'd put a lot of money on the Bucs making the playoffs at this point, but they're not dead. Give them a 25% chance of making the playoffs at this point. That ain't dead. It really ain't. So I hope everybody enjoyed the game yesterday. I got a chance to do Jay Retcher's podcast before I actually did this one. Make sure to go check out Jay Retcher's podcast. He's not on that wretched radio station anymore. So check out his podcast. It's wonderful. Jay does wonderful things. And I appreciate everybody, tuning in every single week to In the Trenches. Let's hope that everybody comes by the Dignitary Cafe to check us out. We're all about sober living. 4817 Southwest Shore Boulevard, around the corner of West Shore and Gandy. The best kratom and best kava in town. We have some THC drinks, and we have a smoke shop in here, the whole thing. We're 420 friendly, and it's a good place to hang out, a good place to be safe. So remember to represent your small businesses, because a lot of us are still struggling after those hurricanes. It seemed like there are about 100 in the last year, but make sure you represent your small businesses, and let's hope the Buccaneers keep on winning. Everybody have a wonderful week, and please be safe. Peace out.
Learn from the vets, been there, done that. Breaking down the game, facts on facts.
You know, some law firms, they try to sell you on how big they are. But wouldn't you prefer to know how qualified and experienced and credentialed their lawyers are?
Call Manny and Gordon or visit us at fightnegligence.com.